All right, let's get into this. I'm going to show you guys how you can make a ton of money with Halloween goods, selling Halloween goods just like I did. So watch this entire video because I'm going to do a walkthrough and show you step by step what it's doing. So here's what it's doing. I found this old ebook that I wrote 15 years ago about how I used to make $88,000 a year in profit selling Halloween goods and how you can do the same thing. So I'm going to give you this ebook, but I want to do a walkthrough with you because this is 15 years old. So these links like this, I bet this doesn't work. Yeah, that doesn't go anywhere. It goes to an old website that I don't even have anymore. So a lot of these things are not relevant. The links are dead, but I want you to be able to still use this and make money with this. So anyway, the link to get this ebook is in the video description. You don't have to opt into an email list. There's no bullshit, none of that stuff. Just grab the book. Maybe it can help you. But let me do a walkthrough because this is a great business and I want to give you my insights. So just going through here. Oh, by the way, the other thing, I sold this ebook on eBay and it made me bank. So again, selling information is one of the biggest things you can do to make money online. And if you really want to learn how to do it and make money from day one, go to my website, thekinghumanelite.com, and learn. That's one of the things you'll learn there. Okay, enough of that pitch. But I made money selling information from minute one, day one. So anyway, this was an ebook that I created on how I made money in the Halloween space. So in here, I go through and I show you some examples of what I did. Here's one. This was like a foam core coffin. And I remember this back in the day when I found this. First of all, I used to go to the trade shows and I would buy stuff at the trade shows. That's where you're going to find great deals and things like this coffin, right? So this coffin was not available anywhere else except from one small supplier at the trade show, right? I couldn't get it from my usual sources, and this thing sold like insanity. I could not keep them in stock. And these, let's see, the cost was $30 each, which is high, but they sold for over $100 each on eBay. And the reason they sold was, and they sold for premium money because it was something that not everybody else had, first of all. That's one of the things you want to look for when you're buying Halloween goods to sell. And the second thing was it had a lot of impact. And the third thing was I made killer eBay ads and I put videos in my eBay ads. So I remember this one in particular. What I did was I set up a fog machine and I piped in fog through this coffin and it would come through these cracks and stuff. And that made it sell like crazy. The other thing I did was I made custom graphics for my eBay ads. And see here where it says Zombo? That was the other thing I did. I created a character for myself, Zombo, and I would dress up in a fright wig and all this stuff. And I kind of goofed and spoofed on, you know, the old, back when I was a kid, they used to have these old Sunday shows where they would have this guy and he would have the monster chiller horror theater. Oh, very scary, you know. And I was kind of goofing on that. But anyway, this is really cool, right? So, you know, just pay attention because I'm going to give you some golden nuggets that will help you in this business. So yeah, some of these coffins sold for like over $140. I couldn't keep them in stock. Okay. So that one item alone was worth about $12,000 in sales per season. And that's just one item. So you build up an inventory of a bunch of these items, right? This Saw mask from the movie, let's see, the cost was $18 and they sold for $50 each, right? Now, here's the thing I want you guys to understand. I was not the only person selling this mask on eBay. There's a lot of competition. And that did not frighten me. You know why? Because I knew that I could sell the items better than anyone else. So what are some of the things that I did? Well, like I said, I created a character. I made my listings have really good impact by putting in demonstration videos and making custom images, not just using an image from a website that everybody else uses. And then the other thing I did was I gave people bonuses. So I would say, you know, something in every listing like, hey, if you buy more than $50, if you spend more than $50 in my store, you'll get a creepy free prize from Zombo's creepy prize vault, right? What was that prize? Well, I went and I found a liquidator who had Halloween liquidation goods, right? And you can do the same thing. Just Google search for that. And this guy had Halloween silk ties, neckties. And they were pre-ticketed at like $20 a piece, something like that. And I was buying them for 28 cents a piece, something like that, right? So I could afford to give that away as a free bonus. And when people opened their box and they saw, oh, wow, I got this, you know, thing and it's worth $20 and I got it for free, that's pretty damn cool, right? So that became a USP, what you call a USP, a unique selling position. You always have to, you know, when you're on a competitive marketplace like eBay, you always have to distinguish yourself and do that in a couple of different ways. First of all, try to find items that nobody else has. If you can't do that, sell the items that other people have in a better or more distinctive way. So anyway, that's that. Okay, then this animated clown was a huge seller. These are just examples, right? Let's see. This one made me about $12,000 a year. And again, this little prop, they were a good seller too. Let's see. These are illustrations only. Again, I haven't gone and looked through this book in a million years. So I'm going through it the same time you are, right? But I remember all this stuff. Collector's masks. These are a huge thing. And that's a whole different kind of thing, right? If you can find a stash, which I've done in the past, you can find a stash of these old original masks. That's bank. I mean, huge bank, right? So anyways, some of the things to look out for. Okay, the HMA.net, I don't even know if that still exists. Let me click on it. Yeah, that doesn't exist. So again, whoa, it took me back to the beginning. Oh my God, so annoying. So I'm not going to be clicking on any more links because that's just going to happen over and over again. Anyway, HMA.net was, I guess it was a collectible site. I don't know. But the other thing you want to do, and that brings me to this image here because I'm just scrolling through quickly. You want to find items that you can sell year round so that you're not just a seasonal business, right? So an example of that was this Eddie Munster Woof Woof doll from the Munsters TV show. That thing sold like insanity and it made bank. People collected the hell out of this Eddie Munster Woof Woof doll. And unfortunately, the manufacturer went out of business. They got sued out of business. Why? Because they didn't bother to get the license to make these from Universal or whoever owned the Munsters. And so they were sued out of business, or they went out of business. They just... It's too bad, too, because these things, they could be selling still today and making me bank. So then I go into another thing where here I just kind of talk about it. But another thing that I used to sell year round. And I bought it for $6, and I would sell it year round for a minimum of 65 on up to $200 each. And that's no joke. What was that item? I'll tell you what that item was, and I'll even tell you the inventory number if I can remember it and where I got it from. What it was a mummified hand. That's all it was, a mummified hand. Again, it cost me $6, and I got it from Morris Costumes. Morris Costumes has a wholesale division, right? So you want to get their wholesale division, Morris Costumes. And I think it was, the inventory part number was VA819. It's still in my mind because I used to get boxes and boxes and boxes of these things. Now, what I did was, to be able to sell that year round, was I sold it on eBay as a sideshow attraction. And I created this whole story about how it was the mummified hand of this voodoo witch queen. And I gave people examples of how they could put it in their bar and make money and all this stuff. And I even created a fake newspaper article about it. And I wasn't selling it as a real mummified hand, obviously. I was selling it as a sideshow attraction. And people bought that like insanity. I remember having to go to the post office with stacks of boxes of those things twice a day. And it made that one item, again, that's just a guesstimate, made me about $90,000 profit from that one $6 item, right? So just using your imagination, that was a Halloween item. That mummified hand was just a Halloween item. And I elevated it into something that I could sell year round. So you got to kind of be inventive, and you got to be creative. Bring your creativity, bring your skills to this, right? So anyway, here I talk about the eBay ad and how you want your eBay ads to look. Oh, here's the actual Zombo character I created, right? So I created this logo. I hired some guy to make this, and I branded myself, right? Before anybody else was doing branding, I branded myself. Hey, it's me, your old pal Zombo. Ah, ha, ha. Buy some of my creepy stuff and you'll be very cool. I don't know, whatever. But that's how I used to talk, and I'd do those stupid, corny, that was the hook. People would come just to see my corny, stupid video. What's Zombo gonna do this time? Oh, okay. And this is the example of how I took, I used to do my own pictures. Again, don't use catalog pictures. Take your own pictures so you'll be unique. So this is what I used to do. I would just set this up. This is the coffin example. I would take a picture, and then in Photoshop, I'd remove the background. I'd add a different background, see, like this. And that made all the difference, right? That was huge. So anyway, Photoshop tutorials, I linked to that, whatever, stupid stuff. Okay, anyway. What is this talking about? I don't know. Here's where I talk about how I used to use HTML in my eBay ads and how I used to insert images in the listings instead of just where they tell you to put pictures. So I would have HTML, which made my YouTube listings look like a sales page does today. All right. And so that's all these things, you'd think it's stupid little stuff, but all of these things add up to make you a success and set you apart from all the other chuckleheads out there, because there's a bunch of chuckleheads. And what's going to happen is when they see you selling your stuff and they have the same stuff and theirs isn't selling, they're going to get pissed and they're going to try and undercut you with price. It never bothered me when somebody undercut their price because I never lost a sale because of it. And that was because of the bonuses and because of the presentation and because I had custom images and because Oh, my feedback. That was the other thing. I had huge feedback. Why? Because I was Amazon before Amazon was Amazon. I got people their stuff super fast, meaning I did not drop ship. People got their stuff. You wouldn't believe how many emails I got from people saying, "How did it get here so fast? I don't understand." Well, that's because I would fill their order the same day I got it, and I would get it into the post office the same day. Like I said, I used to go to the post office and ship things twice a day. And that got me massive feedback. And that's what made me a double power seller with stuff like this. Okay, enough of that. Now, let's go on to, this is my source list, or it was at the time. Morris Costumes, one of the biggest suppliers there is. I don't even know. Let's see if this, oh, I wasn't going to click on links. Yeah, okay, so they still exist. And what you have to do is you have to apply for, let's see, I don't know where it is here. They have a wholesale division. Go find it. Morris Costumes Wholesale. Crap, now I have to go all the way back down again. So anyway, Morris Costumes is like a huge supplier. But I used to like some of the smaller suppliers. Morris Costumes was easy because it was like one-stop shopping. Now, here's the thing about the Halloween business, especially if you go and order your products at the trade shows, things like that. You have to go in like July and get all of your orders then, because all of this stuff is made in China, and they do not make it until they have pre-sold it, the manufacturers I'm talking about. So you really have to be good at inventory control. Meaning, if you don't own enough for the season, you'll sell out and you wish you would have bought more, right? If you buy too much, you'll have overstock and then you'll have to discount it next season or whatever, right? So, that's something that I can't teach you. It's something that you have to have a knack for. I had it perfectly dialed in. So anyway, Morris Costumes. Next is Ruby's Costumes. And again, if any of these links do not work, what you want to do is just do a Google search, right? And for example, Morris Costumes, Google search Morris Costumes Wholesale Division or whatever, right? So anyway, Ruby's Costumes, they have the inflatable dummies. That was another thing. I guess I mentioned it somewhere else in this book. Those sold like insanity. Just an inflatable dummy, so people would dress them up and, use them as props in their stuff, in their, haunted houses, whatever. Anyway, Ruby's Costume, Google search it, right? Sunstar Industries, I don't even know if they're still around, but that was a place I used to buy a crap ton of stuff. So again, one of the other things you can do, I'm not going to click on their link because I'm just going to have to scroll down again. Anyway, one of the things you can do is just Google search for Halloween items wholesale, Halloween products wholesale, right? You'll get a bunch of suppliers. The other thing I want you to do is Google search for Halloween wholesale trade shows and attend those trade shows. And you will find a bunch of cool stuff. Let's see. The other thing, I used to make some custom props with these skeletons. And this place made anatomical skeletons. And when anything got damaged, their skeletons were damaged or whatever, they'd sell them cheap. Anyway, I would buy those and I would make custom zombies and things like that from those. There are guys that even made chandeliers out of these bones and things. And they're heavy. It's not like the cheap plastic stuff you get at the Halloween store. Oh, I just hacked up a lung. Okay. This is the real deal, right? So I used to make mummified heads a lot. So I would buy a lot of these skulls. And let me just touch on this. See how all these teeth are like connected together. What I used to do is I'd take a little Dremel saw and I'd saw between the teeth so that they were more articulated and it didn't look like a fake piece of plastic. And then I would spray it with a spray stain to make it look old and aged. And then I would put like an epoxy thing over the teeth. I would make it, it looked really good. So anyway, those turned into sideshow attractions. I used to have, that's what I used to use when I made like the mummified head of the Marquis de Sade, the mummified head of whatever, right? There were a bunch of characters I had. Anyway, that was, again, making something that I could sell year round, sideshow attraction. So that was that. Oh, here's pictures of some of these guys that made like the skull chandeliers and stuff. The problem with these are they're heavy and they're really hard to ship, but they're really cool and you have to sell them for a lot of money. But anyway, that stuff can be done, and you could, stuff like this, you could sell in a Facebook marketplace where somebody comes and picks it up kind of thing. Anyway, okay, let's go through here and see if there's anything else. Note, what is this note? Morris, oh, Morris has a dropship program. I never did that because I don't trust them. Here's a picture of me with like just a small sample of the shipments, right? So yeah, that was a daily thing. Something, you know, here they are outgoing. 2 of these a day. 2 of those a day, shipments like that. And that probably wasn't even all of it, right? Represents just a few hours of online orders, about $600 to $1,000 in profits. So this was really, really profitable. It was a profitable business. Don't overlook it. USPS is where you can get all these boxes for free and print your shipping labels. Here's a trade show. This is one of the Halloween trade shows I used to go to. It's called the Trans World Show, and you should attend that, right? Anyway, haunt show. I'm not going to click on it because I don't think it works. Again, you're going to download this book. The link is below, and maybe you will get something out of this. So there it is, man. Oh, another thing I want to talk about. I mostly sold Halloween props. I did not sell costumes. Why? Costumes were a pain in the ass. You know, masks, those are okay. That's not that bad. But costumes, people want to go to the local Halloween shop and try it on with their friends and get feedback. And then what they do is they'll go on, once they, you know, try it on and they're, oh yeah, that's cool. They'll either buy it at that shop as an impulse buy, or they'll go on to Amazon and buy it there. So and the other thing I did not like about costumes is if you're dealing with sizes and styles, you have to carry a bunch of different SKUs. When you're selling Halloween props, it's really easy. You got one freaking prop. You know, people either buy it or they don't buy it. There's no sizes, there's no styles, there's no shoe size, there's no hat size. There's none of that garbage. I don't have to carry one for kids and one for women and one for men and all that, right? So anyway, just some of the things that you might want to consider. But anyway, there it is, guys. And then as a bonus, I put this because remember, this was a book that I used to sell on eBay, and the book made me good money. And one of the things I did to sell the book was I included a free bonus on how I used to make $400 an hour flipping websites. And this is no joke. I used to make these websites and flip them. And it took me 2 hours to make a website. First website ever made was a Halloween website, I believe, and it sold for $800. So yeah, no matter how you slice it, 2 hours to make a website, sell it for $800, $400 an hour. Anyway, there you go. And if you want to learn how to make money digitally and not with physical goods, again, one more time, I'll pitch my website, thekinghumanelite.com. I'll try and remember to put a link to it below. And one of the things I'm doing now is I'm doing done-for-you digital products that you can sell. And I train you how to sell it and everything. But they're not only done for you, they're hosted for you. And you can do whatever you want with them. You can sell them. You can put your name on them. You can use them as a lead magnet to grow your email list. You can use them as content on your YouTube or social media channels. Whatever you want to do. I don't restrict you. It's ultra white label stuff. So go check it out at thekinghumanelite.com. And below, download this book and maybe you'll get something out of it. All right, maximum. There it is, the Trans World Halloween and Costume Expo. We're going to take a look. Let's go. Okay, that's it from the HCP show in Vegas. See you on Halloween. Hear me now! Okay, people, hey, that was just a small sampling of the kind of fun you're going to have in this business at these trade shows. Trust me, every year it is a fun fest, and you're going to make a ton of money doing this. So there you go. I mean, can you tell I have fun in this business? I have fun in this business. You will too. And you're going to make money. Good money. So apply yourself, and it's all good. All right, guys. Have fun out there. Make some money. Send me an email and tell me how you do. Bye, Inara.